Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Transformation Tuesday, March 26th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is an award winning actor, and I'm super excited to have him back in the dollhouse so that we can catch up on what he's been up to in the year 24. I'm super excited, Fashion Dolls. It feels great to be back again. Second interview for this week, and we have more amazing, great guests coming on as well, also. So, without further ado, let's share this live with John F. Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and I hope you guys are loving the pink today. I wanted to do something a little different for the springtime. I absolutely love spring because with spring, the bright colors are rolling in, as you can tell from my nails, as you can tell from the outfit that I'm wearing today, the look that I'm wearing today. I wanted to do something for the spring, and spring is a beautiful time to pop out the colors. So I've just been having so much fun this week. Yesterday I had blonde hair. Today my hair is like a chocolate brown. So I always love to incorporate colors into each and every look for the week. So without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest back to the Dollhouse, Fashion Dolls, John F. Thomas. What is up? I can't find my guests. Where do you add someone? No requests yet. Oh my god. Wait a minute. It says no requests. Give me a sec, Fashion Dolls. I have got it. Okay, wait a minute. There we are. Perfect. Welcome back to the Dollhouse.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure to have you back. Happy Tuesday. Happy Transformation Tuesday. So, we did our very first interview back last year in 2023, and you were in the process of shooting a film because before when we were trying to set up, he was trying to get things in motion so that we would be able to have our conversation, and you're back for your second interview. So much has happened since then. But before we get into what you've been up to in this year, 24, how has 24 been for you so far?
And 2024 has been very beautiful. It's been an amazing year, an amazing start to the year. So many great things have been happening, have been moving for me in so many different ways. I'm just the way I can just sum it up is that I've just been blessed. I feel blessed, and I'm thankful for all the opportunities that have been coming my way. I'm thankful for the people, the circle around me. I've been
Please.
really trying to curate this circle, to make sure I have the right people around me who's going to motivate me, encourage me, even hold me accountable for the things that I want to do and
Yes.
love on me, So I'm just very thankful that I've been tuning my eye and ears to know the people to stay close to and the people to stay away from.
And that is very key and important. And we touched on that yesterday with my guest, Aaron Lloyd. And I guess you must have caught wind of some of that conversation because that is something that we touched on, which is making sure that you surround yourself with people who are like minded, who are just like you. And that is key and important to help your success and growth as well, too. So,
Right.
2024, you said this year has been dynamic for you so far. You have projects coming out. What before we get to your projects that are coming out, what else has been happening in your life besides the projects that are coming out in 20?
Well, I recently got engaged, so that was an amazing thing. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Hey, what's up, Corey? I see you in the chat. That's my homeboy, Corey. Corey got a lot of projects too, pieces. Just a quick shout out to him. He's been doing a lot with the LGBTQ community, especially for Black LGBTQ. So Corey is killing it. He's on Here TV now, so check out his projects. But yeah, I've recently been engaged. I'm happy about that to an amazing woman, and it's been beautiful with that. So we're going through the whole prepping for that. And just with life, I've been feeling good. Just getting the right things placed around me. It's been a long journey to get to this point. I feel like just being an artist and going after your goals. It's just kind of like somebody just keeps shaking the bottle that you're in. Every time you get comfortable, it shakes. Just just the reset. So you gotta constantly adjust. But I'm very thankful. But yeah, that's the big news that's been going on outside of the projects that I've been doing. So I'm happy about that.
Congratulations, and even the comments are saying congratulations. And
Oh,
Corey
thank you.
says that you are in Blue Bonte, the final chapters. And Corey, if you don't mind, if you're still here, drop where everyone can go and check John out in Blue Bonte, the final chapters. And speaking of the final chapter, you have some other projects that you're working on as well too, that are coming out. One has been completed, and they're all like shorts. So I can't wait to see these projects that you have coming out. You have Keys, you have Faith, you have Reparations, which I'm interested in seeing. And I'm pretty sure there's more because you've been posting along. So I've been keeping up with you because I've been so busy doing the platform and things and such. So tell us a little bit about your upcoming projects in the year 24.
Yeah, Keys is a really cool, dope project. A shout out to the director Joseph. Shout out to uh, like everybody that was involved with that project because it's basically about this guy who's a musician, and it was me, and they wanted it to be shot in black and white, and the wardrobe was definitely of that period, I think like 1950s, if I'm not mistaken. So that was really cool. I think it's in the festival circuit right now. But basically, the story there is the musician. He was feeling himself a lot, and then he ended up cheating on his girl, leaving his girl to go be with ladies of the night. Because again, he's feeling himself. I'm about to be a big star, et cetera, et cetera. So he ends up seeing that the grass is not greener on the other side. And then he wants to come back, which is tough for the other person because it's like, man, I gave you so much. I loved you. Now you want to come back. So that
Mm,
was definitely interesting to play that role, to be vulnerable, to plead, and potentially not even get the person you want back because not everything ends in a happy story. Not saying that that doesn't happen here, but that's just how close it gets to being like, man, I'm sorry, I'm begging you come back, and where the answer might be no. So that was really interesting. I'm thankful to have been honored with that role to play that. And Reparations, that's another great film that I was thankful to have been a part of, where it just asked a question like, like why aren't we given the reparations, black people, that we deserve? Every other group has been given reparations, but like why not us? So it explores those themes, it explores the resistance against us, and just brings that question more so to the forefront. Like, what do we need to do in order to generate that conversation? Because America wouldn't be America without us, and we still have not been properly compensated for that. So, and just amazing, interesting projects, those two. And then outside of that, I've been in a lot of Darman projects that you've been seeing me post up, where it's beautiful stories. Definitely has a lot of moral of the story themes, where it's like don't get too full of yourself. Don't treat people wrong. Love yourself. Just all of those themes, which is very very beautiful, very amazing. So definitely check those out because I'll be posting those up as those videos come out.
Now, which project are you looking forward to? Because I know I'm looking forward to Reparations. And the reason why I kind of gave that eye is because everything for Reparations is because that's what we've been, and I've touched on that. That's one of the topics that I actually touched on my platform. And I
Mm,
still to this day stand, like everybody's saying, they're standing on business. I'm definitely standing on business as it pertains to Black actors, Black writers, Black producers, filmmakers getting what is rightfully due to them. So I'm
yeah.
always going to be vocal about that. I'm not going to be quiet about it. So that's
Mm,
why I'm interested in seeing that project, making and especially the Black collective getting what is rightfully due to us for years, decades, eons has been due to us.
mm.
So, I all of your characters in each project, which one are you forward to looking to see?
Man, um, probably the one Keys. I'm definitely interested in seeing how people will look at that project and how they react to their performance because I really, man, I love the performance that I did there. To be because to go from like very strong man to like to opening up and showing their
Yeah,
vulnerability because often as men there's this idea that you have to be tough all the time, but it was something very intimate and beautiful about that where you see the walls coming down for that person and look, I have nothing. I gave up everything, even my pride, to come here, into this moment. So that was really good. The other projects I'm interested in people seeing are I have some more Dark Man projects coming out where I'll be taking more of the lead roles. And so that'll be interesting. One of them is where I'm with my wife, and then she leaves me because I got in an accident. So we get into because that's a real thing. Like, what would you do if you're with somebody
right.
and they got in an accident to where like they need help? You have to take care of them. Where that question of for better or worse, and until death do us part, really hits you, and it's just like, okay, are you really going to take that and really stand on that? Those vows that you said when you got married. Are you going to support this person? Are you gonna help them? Are you going to stick by them? So when that project comes out, I definitely can't wait to share that to see what people say and how they react to that project. And so I think those two are the ones that I'm definitely interested in to see how people react to that. As I'm always, I just like generating conversation in the projects that I'm in. I love to be able to be in a project to help, not even just, ooh, hey, look at me, I want to be the lead star, but I want to help generate conversation. I want to spark these thoughts, these questions, to just get people talking and get out of their comfort zone to a degree, and to ask questions. Just not to necessarily make them feel uncomfortable, but uncomfortable towards growth. Because sometimes we get too comfortable, we get too lax, we get too chill. But when you watch something that's powerful and beautiful and moving and amazing, that
Yeah.
makes you question, like, man, like what would I do in that situation? Or man, I never thought about that. Things like that. I love being in projects like that.
I'm gonna go back for a minute for two things you said. Vulnerability, and I'm gonna be transparent with my audience here today. I had a moment, but John here, this man, I messaged John and I said, okay, because I was checking to make sure that we were still on for today's interview and conversation. And I had a moment where I said, John, I'm not feeling it. I'm depressed. And then I talked to John and Ricky Taylor, who's another actor as well too. And both of you gentlemen sort of pulled me back in and wheeled me back in. And then thank God for Alan Yankee. He texted me on something just like, I'm surrounded by all of these amazing black men in my life who pulled me back in. You, Ricky, and Alan Yankee pulled me in because today I don't know what I would do. So I just got back to, I said, thank God. We are officially booked, almost booked for June. We have 3 more dates.
Oh,
So
nice.
things are coming along. Thank God someone messaged me and reached out to me about coming on the show. And we got that set up. We set that interview up. Well, I actually reached out to them and they responded back, and we got that set up for June. And that makes me feel good knowing that I do what I love. And I was in a state where I was just like, Lord, I don't know how much of this I can take because I feel lonely. I feel empty. And I'm going to be completely transparent. You can have all the success in the world, be the most amazing person in the world, and you can still feel
Oh
lonely.
yeah,
I have been battling this week. And
yeah.
it feels a sense of emptiness. Why am I empty? And I sit and I ask myself these questions. So
Hmm.
you guys see the beauty when I post the outfit of the day or the hair, the makeup, whatever. You see the beauty, but That's what I've been battling with behind the scenes before the interviews. It's depression, abandonment, and feeling lonely
Yeah,
and just left out. That's how I feel.
yeah,
So that's my moment of transparency. So I appreciate you for talking on vulnerability because that ties into today's final thought also too, which we'll get to later at the end of our conversation. But another thing I'm going to go back to is you said black men, more and more black men are opening up about mental health and crying and showing emotion, and we're seeing that now at an all-time high. And I'm so thankful for it because in the black community, the black collective, black men have been told they have to be the warriors, they have to be the survivors, the savages, and protect their family and be tough all the time. The black collective, we have told we have had to be tough and fight
mm,
and stoic and not cry or not show emotion. I'm here to debunk that and say it's okay to show emotion. It's okay because you are human at the end of the day. And it's okay to let go. It's okay to let it out. It's okay to be sad.
yeah,
It's okay to feel angry, but don't keep your anger bottled up inside
mm,
because at the end of the day, it can be like a poison to you.
yeah,
If you don't release it or talk about it, black men, if you're watching this platform, please talk about it. That's why the resources are here. And I'm starting to see more and more black men take advantage of therapy. More and more black men start to talk to their wives, their girlfriends, their mothers about it. And we have to be there to support them, ladies. That's our job.
yeah,
Support them because they do the same for us as well too. Especially if they're good, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Stand up and talk about it. So I appreciate you for sharing that because more and more black men to see them open up and say, okay, it's okay for me to be vulnerable. It's okay for me to cry. And then I'm pretty sure you saw what Shaq said. Shaq said, "Don't ever open up to a woman because she'll take it, she'll use it against you." That's what he said. He said, "Don't ever be vulnerable to a woman because she'll use it against you." No, we won't.
yeah,
We're here to
yeah,
let you know that we won't use it against you. We're here to be that listening ear for you. We're here to talk to. We're here to listen.
yeah.
That's what we're here to console, to be there by your side.
Yeah, and
So,
that goes back to like what I was saying before, like looking at your circle. Because in my circle, like I have three best friends. Two are men and one is a woman. So I've known her since high school. Her name is Shayna. So um, that's a person that I can call and outside of well, along with my two male best friends, but I can tell this person anything and they won't use it against me. So, but that goes with you have to perceive people. Who can you talk to? Because you can't tell everybody everything. And that's I
so
think that's the issue with a lot of people. They feel like, oh, one person does this really bad thing, one or two or three people, and they want to put the blanket, thing on everybody. Oh, these three women did me wrong. All women are horrible, But it's just like that's not the case because is your mother a horrible person? Is your sister a horrible person? Like really start thinking, is your cousin? Because I know you have some women cousins. Are they horrible people? And if you start thinking about these people exist, these people are, there are good people out there. My grandma was a great person. My auntie is a great, like all of these things. There are great women out there. There are great men out there. Are there bad apples in a bunch? Yes, there are some bad apples, but you know, uh, just keep that awareness of who is good for you and who's not. And sometimes that takes a little time, because I feel like a lot of people rush into these relationships and into these friendships without really vetting the person, and that's fine. Vet the person before they get that access to you, because that's valuable. That access to the vulnerable part of you is valuable. But that's not saying don't share it with anybody, but find those people who are deserving of that and share it with them. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There are men out there who are loving to people, and there are women out there who are loving to people. We all need a safe space to be vulnerable with somebody. So if you can be a safe space for somebody, That's a beautiful thing because you have no idea. Even just smiling at somebody walking down the street, you don't know what that does to people. You know, they can be having the worst day ever, and you smile and do one thing that you think nothing of, but you know that sticks with them. It's like, man, that person that didn't even know me was so nice to me. So you pass the love and the good deeds and being helpful to people along is my advice. And to go back, sorry, the last thing when you were saying about you know feeling alone and stuff like that, and you know those things happen, and even just like you said with success, because I thought about that as success is coming upon me. Because I think J. Cole talked about it, or we've seen celebrities who had this crazy amount of success, so much adoration going their way, and they still feel alone, and they still feel like nobody's on their side. And I've thought about that, and I mean, I hate that it happens to a lot of these celebrities, but I'm thankful to see that because me and my best friend, one of my best friends, we've been thinking about like really working on ourselves, really working on finding peace, even when we didn't really have the project that we had and we were trying to get it. We were like, man, I'm really trying to, I just want
Mm.
this thing so bad, this goal. But we were like, okay, trying to find peace, trying to find happiness where we are. So that way, whether I have this goal or not, I will still have that contentment. I will still have that peace. I'm alive. My car works. My water's running. I have food in the refrigerator. My parents, like for me, they're still alive. My family's doing good. They're healthy. Nobody's really sick. I'm not sick. You know, once you start really going down that list, and you maybe even meditate. I suggest meditating for some people who are listening, you know, because that'll allow you to just really slow down and really take in what you're thankful for. So that way, no matter what comes your way, so like the success that will come that you've been trying to achieve and attain, you're happy with that, but you're already content. You know, like it doesn't make or shape you. You already are whole, a beautiful person. You have all these amazing things. This is just extra, you know. So that doesn't make or break you. It's just extra, you know. And it's a beautiful extra. It's a blessing of an extra. But we're already blessed where we are. I'm already blessed to have my friends, my family, to have you, Stevie, to you know, because life is short, life is fleeting. You never know when it's going to be your time to go. So I try to be as present as possible and to love on those who's around me as much as I can because I don't know when this is going to be the last phone call. Who knows? You know, I don't know when just me saying, "All right, man, I'll see you later." I might not see that person later. You know, so I just really want to be in the moment, and that's why that's why I'm saying all of these things to just try to focus on the great things you do have because the greater things are coming, but to be happy and content where you are now and to find peace with it. This is basically peace, just trying to find that peace. And so that way you can hold on to and protect that peace no matter what you go through. You can have that peace. So
Absolutely. Beautifully diverse fashion says amen. Yes. Stay surrounded, and it goes back to what Ricky, one of my guests and my friend, he said last week, which is pour into people and give people their flowers while they're here. Because as you said, you don't know when is someone's time. Our number could be called anytime. So make sure that you're
yeah,
pouring into people and giving them their flowers, and rightfully so. That is key and that is important because you never know what a person could be going through. So sit down and have a conversation. We're now in a day and age where everything is technology based.
mm-hmm,
And sometimes I have to put the phone down and unplug. That's what I've realized. Unplug and unwind.
mm-hmm,
And when once you do it, it's such a great feeling. It's such a great feeling.
yeah,
But I love when my family or friends just reach out to me and check on me too, because I do the same in return, vice versa. I try to make sure that I reach out to everybody. But there are times when I'm just like, hey, what about me? I feel kind of left out too. But I've learned to take that time and reflect with myself as well too. Writing has been a thing for me. So I'm thankful to be able to write it down in my journal
Hmm.
or get back to creating. When I'm focused or I'm doing something, that helps as well too. So thankful
Yeah,
to have those tools and necessities near me to be able to put whatever I'm feeling down.
yeah. I mean, just even doing the things you love, because sometimes we get so caught up in life and get caught up in
Oh yeah,
career and doing things that a lot of times in life that we don't want to do, that we neglect ourselves. And because even like with pouring into other people, that's a beautiful thing, but don't forget to pour into yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup, or you're not pouring much of anything. You know, it's funny because sometimes I tell my mom that, because my mom and dad are such givers, you know, that I tell them, like, look, you need to pour into your own cup too. Refill yourself, replenish yourself, because you're not going to be any good to anybody if you're not treating yourself with kindness and with love. So just like before I came on here, I read from this book, and just so I can read, because I love reading, but I haven't
same here.
this past month, I haven't opened the book and read anything, but I was like, that's something I love to do. So let me go back to doing that. It's beautiful outside. I might go for a walk just to go and just look at the trees and look at the flowers and listen to the birds, you know, just so I can slow down. And but that's something that I like to do, you know, and pours back into me. And also it's good to just get that walk in, that exercise. You know, it's like all these multitude of things if you kind of, just like you said, unplug yourself from everything, social media, from technology, and just do what you like to do. Go for a hike, go for a walk, you know, go catch up with your friends. I don't know, there's so many things you can do to refill your cup, but please do refill your cup.
Alan Yankee says, if you discover your difference, you won't have to make people like you. That is real peace. And I love what Divine Joy Rudolph, she just won the Oscar Award. I think that's how you say her name, Divine. She said that I always had to be somebody else when all I needed to do was be myself. And that is the best thing. Be yourself and be at peace. If you are suffering and with depression or feeling a sense of emptiness or abandonment, talk about it.
Yeah,
And today I appreciate myself and give myself a pat on the back for being able to talk about that, because normally I would just come on and it just be like, hi, fashion dolls, in a good mood, happy, smiling.
mm,
But that conversation, John, that we had behind the scenes really, really helped. You,
yeah,
Ricky, and then Alan Yankee texted me right before our interview, and he sent me a joke, and that kind of made me laugh and cheer up because I was going through it
yeah,
earlier this morning. I'm like, none of my friends really text or check on me, but I reached out and I text Ricky, and then I reached out to you and I said, "Are we still on for our interview today?" And then thank God, Alan Yankee texted me right before our interview, just a few minutes ago, and he
mm,
sent me a joke or something, and it made me laugh. So it's those little things that matter. But I'm going to take the time to do even more self care because I indulge in self care a lot. And you guys see the end result when I come on. I'm happy, I'm rejuvenated, I'm refreshed, and that's because I took care of myself. But I also take time to unplug and talk with family. My mom told me this one day. She said, I'm your mother. That's why I'm here. You come and you talk to me. Don't go shut up in the room and then not talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
Talk to me. That's why I'm here. I'm your mother. Those were her exact words. So thank God I
That's
have both
beautiful.
my people. I have my family. I have a good support system behind me. Sometimes I internalize things, and that's the thing that I've come to realize too. I try to, battle it on my own, but it's just like some battles you can't battle on your own.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to have people there helping you and lifting you up and picking you up as well. So that's what I've come to understand. I've always been the type to try to fix things on my own or get it done on my own, but it's just like you have to humble yourself and swallow your pride and
mm,
ask someone for help. And now I've learned to do that. I'd rather be at peace than in PCS trying to divide my own energy between different people and things. And then everybody has their own personality.
mm,
So that's what
mm.
I've come to also realize too. Everybody has their own personality. And that's what is so divine about all of us is that God created us individually. He didn't want us all to be the same.
All right.
So that's unique in itself, is that we all
Oh
have
yeah.
our own personality.
Yeah, because the beautiful thing is that is a very beautiful thing that we do have our difference. I'm glad there's been so many movies that have come out to um, point out our uniqueness, our differences. But then another thing that I've noticed, which is kind of sad in this Western society that we have, is that we separate, we isolate ourselves so much that like there's not really a community anymore. Because like if you look at the African the core, of Africa is community. The core of the Native American the tribe is community. It's all about like not just me but us. So which, like I said, having those differences is a beautiful thing. But sometimes, just like you were saying, where you try to take stuff, internalize it, and you don't really open up and talk to people, and that's so that in itself can be so lonely, and because this thing is just tossing around in your head over and over, and if you don't let it out, it just gets worse and worse and grows and worse, and then you think because you're not bouncing this idea with anybody else. It's just bouncing it to yourself, and it's just becoming this worse and worse and worse thing. So that's why I was saying like earlier, just why I've been trying to really be aware of like who I'm around, who I'm talking to. I talk to my mom, I talk to my brothers, I talk to my dad, my best friends, because I know they'll talk to me with love and they'll talk to me with truth. And a lot of times, some things I don't want to hear, but I probably do need to hear. But it's given with love, and so I'm very thankful to have people like that, having best friends who won't say what I want to hear, but tell me what I need to hear. So that's a very real thing too. But yeah, man, just for you and those that are listening, you're not alone. Don't feel like you are. It might feel like you are, but remember that having that community, that tribe, man, you're so much. Because we have all these individual digits, right? I'm gonna butcher this, but stronger together though. Because when you have this, yeah, by ourselves, strong, but man, when we all come together, we're unstoppable. We're
Yeah.
an unstoppable force. And so, yeah, that's why I love you all. I love you, Steve. I love everybody who's listening, everybody who's joined. Again, you're not alone, and you're beautiful as you are. They're unique selves, but also remember, we're all strong together. Like you, me, if we all come together, we work together. Nobody can stop us. Nobody. We can do the impossible, and that's the beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to shift gears here, Fashion House, because you touched on mental health. Now, you have a project that is coming out, Corey, and I pinned it. Buvante, The Final Chapters, which will be premiering May 3rd on Here TV, which is an LGBTQ based channel network platform. I'm subscribed to them, so I definitely will be checking this project out. Tell us a little bit about your character in Buvante, The Final Chapters.
Actually, I'm not even sure. I might be in this one. I don't like Corey. Corey is such a man. The dude he's brilliant. Like his writing is amazing. Now I know I was in another project of his, but I think he mentioned to me maybe he's going to connect that project to this project. I'm not sure. So I'm going to be watching too. I'm not because he just writes these very engaging and
On
amazing stories. So I guess it'll be a shock to me too. If I'm in this, then great. I'm not complaining. Because I was in a project before called Entangled with him, and so maybe at this he might be tying those two projects together. And if so, that character in Entangled I was playing a photographer who was interested in Corey's character, and so we met when we were at a mutual friends party, and immediately there was a spark there, and we started talking with one another. But I guess with my character, the difficult thing with my character was I was saving myself until I really got with somebody I really wanted to be with. So that was hard for Corey's character. He was just like, I don't know about that, but some old flame, pop back up in Corey's life, which kind of messed up, our thing, and of course drama ensues because old flames pop back up. But that was entangled, and it was so great, beautiful, amazing project to work on. Uh, Man, again, the way Corey writes, he really gets it. He writes because he knows people. He knows how people talk, how people interact, and it's so easy. I love, 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 love when I read a script, and it's so easy to remember the lines because this is how people communicate. This is how people talk. One of the tough things is to pick up a script and you're sitting there looking like this isn't really how people converse with one another, but you as an actor, you have to make it work. So I mean, thank God for people like Corey who make it easy for me to where it's just like, oh man, this is, and you already kind of know where the line is gonna go. So I can, so that's when I can tell it's amazing writing behind it, and he makes great stories. So Blue Vontae is it is a long running show that he's had, which I think I saw the previous project of Blue Vontae, and I tell you, this was so good. And this has never happened to me before. Now, I've watched the major movies, and there's been a few that I can probably count on my hand that I've cried on. But at the end of Blue Vontae, I started crying. I couldn't help myself. It just came out, and I saw the advanced screening of it, and I was sitting there with Corey watching this show, and I started watching this movie, and I started crying, and he didn't even know what to say. He was just, oh, you okay? You good? I was like, man, I was just so drawn into the story. So that's how amazing of a writer and storyteller that Corey is. So for all those who are watching, definitely watch Corey's stuff. He has, I think this might be his third project on Here TV. Again, if I'm in it, I'll be happy to see it. So I'll be watching with everybody else. But yeah, it's amazing stories. Blue Vontae is an amazing story, and I can't wait till that comes out. And I'm pretty sure Corey and I will be working together again soon. I'm just waiting on that call to him to let me know, like, hey, all right, you ready? Here we go. So I'm definitely excited for that.
So you've got Keys, you've got Faith, you got Reparations, and you've got Blue Vontae, the final chapters, and Entangled, which is already out, and your engagement. So what else is next for John in the future of 24?
So there's a video game that will be coming out later this year that I voiced the. I forgot about that. So I voiced the character because so much has been happening. I voiced the character on that, and that was an amazing, beautiful experience. I think the game will be coming out this September or October, but definitely follow me. I'll post more about it once it gets closer. Once it comes in, I can actually say what the game is. But I signed the NDA, so I can't say too much. But it's under a company that has been around for a while. This is, I think, like the 10th installment of the game that's coming out. So it's very, very popular. And that was an amazing experience. So that is on its way out. More Darman projects where I'll be taking more of the leading role is coming out, and that's been a beautiful experience itself because he definitely has a lot of fans worldwide. So I think somebody from somewhere in Africa. Africa is a big continent, but somewhere in Africa, somebody was saying, "Hey, I'm a fan," and that was just such an amazing, beautiful thing because of me doing these Darkman projects and to see how they move people, how they make people think. And that has been a blessing in and of itself. I've been working with a lot of different amazing actors. I have another Darman project that I'll be filming actually this Friday and Monday. So, and they as long as they keep calling me back, I'll keep coming. And it's been an amazing year. So those more Darman projects for 2024 will be coming out, where I'll be leading the video game that's coming out, and I'm also working on a cartoon series that I haven't really been talking. I think I told you about it last time,
Yeah.
but it's getting closer to fruition. closer to being done. So I think maybe at the end of the year, I'll probably be able to put it out. So, but we're working hard on that. A lot of amazing things. I'm just happy. I'm blessed, and uh, like I said, I'm just trying to be present in the moment. I'm present here with you, and I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy for all the things that are going on.
And Beautifully Diverse Fashion says that she's a fan. She says she's been watching
Oh,
Darman since the pandemic. And she says, we're from Australia, but I'm based in Europe. So
okay.
you've got fans all across the country. How does that make you
Look at it.
feel?
Look at God. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, man.
So
All right.
it's a lot more in store for you in the future of 24. And I can't wait to see these projects, the video game, everything. It's just all of these things that you put out. Do you ever feel when you sit down and you relax and you reflect back on your career, because you've had such an illustrious career, body of work,
Thank you.
do you ever sit back and just reflect and say, wow, this is a full 360 moment? Like, do you ever have a pinch yourself moment where it's just like, is this real? I've got my engagement, all of the success, all of these things, these film scripts, video game. Do you ever sit back and reflect and say, okay, is this really happening to me?
Yeah, it's funny. Before I came out to LA, I remember just looking online and seeing all these auditions, and oh man, I just wish I could just be in a room if I could just do that audition or whatever. But then when I came out here, I remember that I was getting auditions, but I wasn't booking anything. And of course, like that was frustrating. But then the same thing where I went into that. Me and my best friend Ellis E. Fowler. I've been in a few projects with him. We've talked about like, man, you know what? Instead of thinking about all those negative things, like think about the positive. Because like me, prior to me coming to LA, I used to just dream about doing auditions. Now, the agents are sending me my auditions, and I'm going getting my own auditions and stuff like that. And that's an amazing, like that's amazing. Like me, what, 11 years ago would have, I would be happy right now. Like, oh, I'm getting auditions. I'm in LA and I'm getting these big auditions. And because like I think I auditioned for an Arnold Schwarzenegger project, which is dope. I didn't get it, but I got to audition for it. So like that's amazing, and like me 5 years ago, me 10 years ago would be ecstatic and so happy. So I try to think about that too. Would me from 10 years ago, would 10-year-old me be really happy with where I am now? And like heck yes. Like, oh man, I would be jumping, pumping my fist in there like, yeah, that's the life I'm living. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm having like of course there are some things that I wish I had more money, of course, and I wish I had this, that, and the other. But life is good. If I really sit down and I think about it, like man, life is really good. And so I'm just happy with the things that are going on right now, and I try to think about that more often than not because, like I said, sometimes we get so caught up in the go of people that we forget to slow down and just sit there and really think like, man, like I just man, life is good. Like man, I could my heat's pumping through, and I have a place to stay because there's a lot of homeless people around me. So I mean, I have to count my blessings, because I could be living on the street. Things could be completely different, but I have people who think about me and consider me for projects or reach out to me and all that. I have my family who calls me and checks in on me. So it's so many amazing because there's people who don't have their family, who don't have their mother anymore, who don't have their father. So I try to think about that and really just be thankful. Like they're still here. Like I need to be thankful that I can call my mom right now, and or call my dad and talk to him right now. So all of these things are blessings, and I'm extremely thankful for how far I've come, and it's been hard to get to this point, but I'm at this point, and I'm very thankful. I'm very happy, and thank you to everybody who's been watching, and I think I've seen some people follow me, so thank you for that because you you didn't have to do that, but you did. So, and I'm appreciative of that. Thank you.
All right, Fashion Dolls, do we have any questions for myself or John? This is such a great conversation, and I hope this is helping you also on your journey to get to success and where you need to be in a certain point in life. We touched on a number of things from mental health to love to life to success. We covered a number of things in this interview today. So I hope you all are taking something away from today's show. So, do we have any questions, Fashion Dolls, before we conclude and wrap up with the final thought? Because it ties into today's show theme, which is what John said, which is vulnerability. And Beautifully Diverse has a question. She says, how do you stay so grateful and achieve more?
Maybe due to spirituality. Um, but
Okay.
I come from a family who that's very, they're into church. But outside of that, I like it's funny because I moved away from the church to a degree to become more spiritual. But I'm back in church. So, but I always try to think about because I mean, as much as God blesses, God can't take away as fast. But and I think about the people who had really amazing and great things, but they were humble. You know, you because God blesses the those who are doing good out in the world. He also blesses those who
Yeah.
aren't putting good out into the world. But just to be grateful along the way, because things can always be worse. It could always be. I mean, I could not have been here right now. I could have, checked out. I don't know, 5 years ago for whatever. But I try to be really grateful, and because of that, I think um, for those who do achieve more, to be happy with what you have. But it's okay to set goals that you want to better security, or you want more peace and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that. To being grateful with where you are, and then you attract people because of that gratefulness. People want to help you because, like, if you're helping yourself, people want to help you because they see you helping yourself. Now, if you're just sitting there, just like just hands out and like y'all need to give me stuff, y'all need to, there's that sense of ungratefulness, and you just want people to hand you stuff, then it's hard to achieve more when you're doing that. But if you're sitting there and it's like, you know what, I have these great things, but these are the things I'm working on just goal wise, and I want to see if I can hit this
Mm,
and help people along the way as I'm doing this, if I can help people. And then people want to help you as you go because they see you helping people. And they see, man, that's a real, grateful girl. That's a grateful dude. And man, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of this good thing, and that people, because of course there's people who want to hop on a ride for a free ride, but there's also other people who genuinely want to help you, receiving nothing in return, and those are beautiful people, because of that, because they help you, hopefully there should be a spirit of like, no, but I really want to help you because you helped me and you didn't have to do that, so it's like a cyclical thing of people helping people, and the best way to help people is to not, it's hard, it's really hard to get out of that, but to help somebody and not expect anything in return, because you never know, this person might need it, or how bad they need it, whatever, and it'll come back around. I mean, there's such a thing as karma, and the good that you put out in the world will come back to you, so um but yeah, just go with a spirit of gratefulness, of grace, and if something good comes your way, great. If it doesn't, um, like they say, in God's time, not yours, because we can sit there and, oh, when I become 35, this is gonna happen. When I turn this age, that's gonna happen. But you never know how life
mm,
turns out. But sometimes things turn out for the better outside of what you planned. So just go along for the ride. Be grateful for what you have, and more things will open up as you continue to do great things, and stop trying to compare yourself to other people too, because social media messes a lot of people up in that way. So you see, oh man, this person's doing so great, but life might not be that great for them behind the scenes. So just, and that goes back to what we were talking about with success. Because you can have all the
yeah.
success, but if you haven't been working on yourself prior to getting that success, like, if if you are a mean person, let's say, and you blow up overnight tomorrow, you're successful. Everybody knows you. You have all this money. Instead of being a mean person with no money, now you're just a mean person with a lot of money. So, but if you work on yourself to try to become a better person, then, the money is just a bonus. The money doesn't fulfill you or doesn't, you know, um, make you happy, but it helps pay the bills and it helps you help other people. But you're content with your life regardless if you have $1 million or if you don't have $1 million. But you're happy and you use what you have to make things better as you go. Just as I always say, brick by brick. Because I don't have to make a big skyscraper today, but if I just keep just one small thing, I just work on this thing, it'll eventually grow, 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 and I'll be able to help other people outside of helping myself. You know.
Absolutely. And Byron Exton Smith says, "My guy,
What's up, man? He's a
do
he's
we
a
have?"
great dude too. I was in a project with Byron. Man, what's the name of the film? We've been in a few films together. Oh, Deadly Bonds. I believe I was in. Yeah, we were in Deadly Bonds together. And he has other projects with the People's Network. Amazing company. They put out some amazing films. You guys can go to the link in my bio. Some are a little risque. It's a mature films, but but they're great films though. Great stories and some really good twists here and there. So check that out. Check Byron out. He's an amazing actor. I love working with him. Can't wait to work with him again in the future.
Do we have any more questions for myself or John Fashion Dolls? This was such a great conversation, and I feel a lot better than I did earlier.
That's good.
Earlier, I was just going through it. The press kind of down in the dumps, but thank God for people reaching out for just asking, "How are you doing? How are you doing? Are you okay?"
Mhm.
So it takes time. Um, Today's final thought, Fashion Dolls. I don't see any more questions. Do we have any more before we get into the final thought of the day and conclude? Because today's final thought ties into what John touched on earlier, the key word, which is vulnerability. Today's final thought comes from Selena Gomez, and she says that being vulnerable is a strength, not a weakness. You have to be willing to be open with people and be transparent. People won't know because we're not psychics. We can't automatically predict what a person is going through unless you sit down and talk to them and have a conversation with them and find out their thoughts, their innermost demons, what bothers them, what makes them insecure, what makes them happy, what makes them angry. Sit down and have a conversation with someone. And for me, I've learned to swallow my pride and open up because I'm not the most open person. I always keep things private. Relationships, anything like that, I prefer to keep that private when I'm talking to whatever. But as it pertains to my mental health, I'm going to be public about it because I know that there are people out there who also suffer with depression or any form of bipolar disorder, whatever it may be. Talk to someone, use your resources, and show emotion. Don't be afraid to cry. I was watching a YouTube video. There was this YouTube couple, and his partner surprised him, and he started crying. He was like, "I don't want to, I'm trying not to cry. I'm not supposed to cry. Listen, show those emotions, let those tears flow. There's absolutely nothing wrong with crying. It means that you're human. Because I mean, you can keep stuff bottled up in so much. And in my younger years, I used to have real bad anger problems, and it comes from a place of being bullied a lot. So I always would have to be guarded. Whereas like now, I can see color, I can see freer, I can see over the horizon, I can see a sense of happiness. So whereas before I would be so quick to lash out, yeah, yeah, I'd be ready to fight or curse somebody out or two. But now I've toned it down. And I say that because I've learned that you can't allow people to have control over you. The person no longer has that control over you. So there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable in the moment. And disregard again what Shaq said, where he says, "Oh, if you're being vulnerable to the men that watch my platform, uh, if you are emotional in front of a woman, you're using it against you." No, no, we won't, because that's intimate. You're talking to me. Whatever you're feeling, we can talk about this together. That's why I'm here, and that's why you're family is there because they care and you love you. You wouldn't use anything against you. So I totally disagree with that. 100%. So show that vulnerability. Don't be afraid to open up to the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you have that right circle. That means friends and family. Friends who've known you since day one, since from the beginning, from the get go. You keep those people in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the final thought. John, for you, do you have any final thoughts? Because we touched on vulnerability today. Any final
Yeah.
thoughts on vulnerability?
Just yeah. I mean, just everything that Stevie just said. Just be kind of like what my parents said so long ago. Watch the people you hang around, because either they can help build you up or they'll tear you down.
Oh yeah.
So with that, whoever you choose to be vulnerable to, just make sure that this is a solid person. This is a good person, and that they're trusting. If you open up to a person that is constantly telling everybody's business, they're gonna tell yours too. So talk to somebody who is a trustworthy person. You know, somebody who doesn't go telling everybody's business. And it's funny, oddly enough, I'm kind of that person. Even at jobs, you know, there's been people in the other departments that tell me stuff that I should not be knowing at all. But you know, I don't go around and say anything about it. But it's just funny. I'll be hearing this information. And it's just like I'm not supposed to know this, but I guess it's good that I'm a trustworthy person, and a lot of people feel like they can open up to me and they can be vulnerable and real with me, and I just thank God that I'm in a place that I can't help people, however that is, you know, because a lot of times you want to be helping people in such a grand way, but sometimes it's even in the
Yeah.
smallest ways or the ways that you don't even think about that does wonders for people, you know, that completely turns their day around. So um, I'm glad you opened up to me and we were able to talk about it. And I just advise to everybody else, just do the same for other people, because you never know what that can do for them. And yeah, yeah, just love on one another. Let's love one another. So it's a lot of pettiness and toxicity that's out there. Let's spread more love if we can, and I know we can. And thank you,
Absolutely. And
Byron.
Byron,
You're a shooting star too, man.
yes. So where can everyone follow you? You've got all these projects coming out. Where can everyone follow you and stay in touch with you on these upcoming projects that you have coming out?
You can definitely, you'll see me post about it here on Instagram. If you want to see more of the things that I do, just go to my website, johnfthomas.com. Johnfthomas.com. You can see all of my stuff there. My newest feature film, Girl Code, is out. You can see that there. Again, it's mature. If so, there's some mature themes in there. But I have all of my feature films, all of my projects, and everything that I've done is on my website in one place. You can check it out there. You can check me out on Facebook as well, John F. Thomas, and on YouTube, John F. Thomas. I have more of my comedic skits and sketches on YouTube. But yeah, my website is the main place, but I'll be posting my anything new, highlights of anything new. You'll see it on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, Fashion Dolls and John, always a pleasure. Second interview, we got to have you back again in the spring, later in the spring. I have some June dates available, so we'll get that to you. And
Yeah.
always a pleasure to up with you. And I appreciate you for coming back to the dollhouse. It was great.
Hey, Diamond. Thanks for joining in. And yeah, no, thank you for having me at the Dollhouse. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to coming back. Definitely, for sure.
Definitely, ladies and gentlemen, award-winning actor John F. Thomas. Always a pleasure catching up with you. And this replay will be up so you guys can catch it on IGTV. Also, head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie on YouTube, Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube, so that you can hit that bell and you'll be notified when new interviews are uploaded as well too. I love you all, Fashion Dolls. And joining me tomorrow, we have Kamario Gasket. Take care, everyone.
Have a good one.
You too.